This video is going to be a summary of what I've done with my portfolio over the past month, and in particular, some opportunities that I've found in the past week. The first one I'm going to address is why I sold all of my biotech stock. The second I'm going to address is a unique opportunity that has been created by Warren Buffett to change the supply chain opportunities here in the United States. And then the third is a very unique stock opportunity that has been created as a result of a contract that one particular company has formed several years ago with the NFL. It will provide you, that third one, the NFL, with a 1x opportunity over the next 12 months. So let's look at these three areas and then come to some conclusions, how you're going to respond to them and how your portfolio might benefit from Kerry's observation over the last month and a half.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
Okay, the first thing I want to address is why did I sell all of my biotech stocks? If any of you have been following my channel at any length of time, you know I have been a large proponent of biotech, particularly that of genome sequence and genome editing, and then genome therapy as well. I held stocks such as Editas, Beam, Caribou, Pacific Biosciences, Illumina, because I believed that the world was going to change relative to from health care to health cure. I have read all the books. I understand genome sequencing and genome editing, I would say, better than 99% of the people in the world, and I believe in it. But what I also believe is it's a part of our future, and it's been jeopardized, the stocks that I was holding, as a result of the banking crisis and increasing interest rates. These are all very speculative companies. They depend upon angel investors and venture capital to provide them with the funds to get through the next period of time until they get the science proved, get approved from the FTC, and then get it in a position that they can market it and hopefully be covered by insurance. With the increase in interest rates, the enthusiasm of venture capital has gone away. There are other safer places for them to put their money, and some of these stocks are not going to survive this, and thus I pulled away entirely. I look at them every day. I follow them every day, and I wait for them to turn, for Wall Street to turn and say, okay, now is the time to get on this horse and ride it to the finish line. It's not here now, and the attention has gone in different directions until it comes back to that direction. You will see me then jump on that horse and ride it as far as I can. But right now, biotech is not a good position. I liquidated 25% of my portfolio over the last month and have totally exited, but it is a part of my future investments. The second area I want to talk to you about is a discovery that I made as a result of watching a 3-hour interview with Warren Buffett on CNBC this past Tuesday. In the first hour of that video, of that 3-hour show, Warren explained why he was in Japan. And he expressed that he had created a collection of 5 stocks, here are their tickers, that are supply chain alternatives to China. He did not use those words, but that's what it is. He has recognized that our country, and particularly our companies, have become dependent on China. And if, in fact, China gets aggressive over Taiwan, we could go to war with Taiwan, and all their supply chain would stop. This is a bit of a blackmail that China can hold over the United States as we sit today. So what Warren did starting back in 2019 was go survey one of the countries that make some of the best products in the world, all the way back to our Sony Walkman and the first Toyota that crossed the Pacific Ocean, and creates, although they create these products in Japan, they manufacture them in other friendly Asian and African countries. And he identified 5 large companies in Japan that could serve as mom and pop in Des Moines, Iowa's substitute for the textiles that they're getting out of China to make the products that they sell over the internet. That the companies that are in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, that are supplying supplies to the Mercedes-Benz factory and constructing those supplies from products that they get from China, that they won't be out of business if the worst thing happens, and that is conflict with China. And in addition to that, it just makes good sense that we diversify our dependence from all on China to multiple places. Warren put together this package. Is it a selfless act on Warren's part? No. Warren's a genius. He recognized this was needed. It was a product that was demanded within the United States and throughout the free world. So he just went about constructing it and making it. And I believe, and I have made an investment into each of these 5 stocks, as you will see, Warren has too. He has basically said, if you will watch the interview, he made an initial investment of $5 billion into each of the 5. He has upped his ante now to $7.5 billion. He will take his commitment to these 5 stocks up to 9.99% of the ownership of all of their shares without their permission. If, in fact, they want more money to take it beyond 9.99% ownership of the companies, all they have to do is come and ask. That gives you some idea as to how Warren feels, how committed he is to this. So if Warren's committed to it, and with his track record, Kerry's committed to it as well. And I will watch it. I will track it. If, in fact, I see that it is, in fact, catching on, and you and they, again, he is not selling it to us. He is not selling it to the institutional investors because, in fact, for us to invest in them, we have to invest them through the pink slips, which is over-the-counter markets, which institutions are not allowed to buy. No, Warren is building these companies, and he is acting as the individual who steps forward and says, I bless them. I have worked with them for now 1.5 years, and I endorse them, if you will. So that's my number 2 opportunity. The number 3 opportunity is built around the NFL. I have learned over the last week that probably the largest advertising opportunity in the world is the soccer World Games. The second largest opportunity that is more directed specifically to the United States is the Super Bowl. Well, what happened back in August of 2021, Oprah Winfrey interviewed Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, and had tremendous viewership and spiked an interest in Paramount, the owner of CBS. At the same time, within that same week, CBS announced that they had entered into a contract with the NFL that would give them additional access to the AFC games, including doubleheaders, as well as some access into the NFC, which they had not had up until that time, in addition to their continuing rotation of every 3 years of the broadcast rights for the Super Bowl. If you'll look at this chart, you can see as a result of that, Paramount stock spiked. It actually went up more than 100% in a matter of less than a month. And then in the following weeks, one of the major holders of Paramount stock was found to be illiquid, and they liquidated all their shares. And you see the spike went in the other direction, and Paramount lost a tremendous amount of its value. Now, in the interim, they had the Super Bowl, which they did quite well on, and then they had the production of Top Gun. What I have learned as a result of that, they had fantastic revenues from both of them, and they made tremendous money off of the broadcast of the NFL Super Bowl, but they made very little money off of the sales of tickets to Top Gun Maverick. So in essence, what I learned was that the market got all excited about the potential of CBS having more access to the NFL, and then they forgot about it, because that contract actually doesn't come into play until the 2023 season. That's several months away. What I'm telling you is the stock market, Wall Street, will wake up to the phenomenal contract that Paramount has at their disposal now in the NFL. And as this season goes through and they increase their exposure to the NFL, Wall Street will wake up to it again. And by this time next year, this Paramount stock will go from where it's at now, about $21 a share, to over $50 a share. Why am I so confident of this? Because in May, Warren Buffett took a major position in Paramount. As far as I know, he has never owned it before. He owns very little entertainment-oriented companies. He owns a piece of a small holding in the companies that own Sirius Radio and Liberty Media, and a small piece of a second element of Liberty Media that is involved with F1 for Formula One racing. So this was totally out of the ordinary. It does not fit Warren's criteria of a company that has a moat around it, which CBS and Paramount do not have a moat around it. It does not have the qualities of a company that is showing continuing growth as well as continuing growth in profits, because if you will look at their financial statements, their profits have just been murdered over the last several years. So Warren knows something or remembers something that Wall Street forgot. And what they forgot was this phenomenal NFL contract advantage that CBS will have starting in several months. So those are my three opportunities. This is the direction that this channel is going to go. Kerry is going to keep his eye on biotech because this is something he's committed to. My mother died of cancer, my father died of cancer, my daughter died of cancer, and I suspect I will die of cancer. So this is in my heart. And as I explained in my stock talk yesterday, that may have been my mistake. I was investing with my heart and not my brain. I admire Warren because he does, although there's some other things I've learned about Warren, such as, although he is a strong holder of Coca-Cola and American Express, as I look at those stocks increase in price over the last 5 years, that they're not good. But what you forget is Warren owns so many of those shares, such as Coca-Cola. He probably gets a $3 a year dividend on his Coca-Cola stock. Well, back when he first started buying Coca-Cola, he was probably buying it for $2 a share. So now every year, that $2 share that he bought 25 years ago is paying him a $3 dividend. And that's the intelligence of what he has done. He does not have to depend on the increase in the price of the stock to make money. He makes money having owned these shares at very low prices, and that's what I'm encouraging you to do, to find other stocks who, as a result of the situation we find ourselves in right now, are at very low prices that pay a decent dividend, and you can buy them at that low price and then receive that dividend 30 years from now and make your life such as Warren's. Well, what was Warren's statement? We have over $100 million of cash coming into our operation every day. Think about that. This is a man who started in Omaha, Nebraska with nothing. And now he has $100 million of cash showing up in their bank account every day, and their task is to find something to do with it. Okay, that's the kind of knowledge I want to bring to you. I want you to understand this beyond just what is that stock selling for today. I want to put you in a position where you say, I don't give a damn, because I have invested in such a way that it really doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect Warren. It isn't going to affect me, but I will get back into biotech when I believe, and come back to this channel because I'll be ringing that bell really loud. Okay, that's where I'm at. I'm excited. I have had a new breath of life into my investment strategies, and I want to share them with you. Talk to you again tomorrow.